We'll be starting right at the top of the hour, but I always like to say hello if you're logging in a few minutes early. Let me know where you're logging in from, and are you using video now for your business? I just posted in chat. Let me know if you're using video for your business. I like to keep my webinars geared towards you who are here with me this morning. So let me know if you're new to video, if you absolutely love it, if you want to learn some new tricks, and hopefully that's what I'll be able to share with you today. From Indiana, not using video yet. Well, hopefully after today, you will get excited and feel like you can do this. So that's what I would love for you to take away from the presentation today. And to anybody, let me know if you have any specific questions, because video is really a big part of what I think all of us as business owners need to focus on. And video has been a part of Harmony 3 Productions since we started. So yeah, definitely my wheelhouse. I came from a background of commercial photography. So video was a pretty easy transition for me. I knew that we had to move into video, but remember, I started with still photography. So my first video, I had the radio playing and it was a hot mess. So I have been in your shoes if you are new to video, and I'd love to give you my mistakes so that you don't have to repeat them. But video has been amazing for myself and my clients to connect with everyone on social media these days. Oh, good morning, Lynn from Orange County. Says they use video a couple of times to thank people for coming to an open house. That is a great use of video. Personalized anything these days is really able to reach more people, and you feel seen. You feel like people get you, and when they are connecting with you, whether it's through email or video, and personalize that experience, gold star. Lynn, are you in Orange County, California? I believe there's an Orange County in Florida also. I'm very close to Orange County in California. I see a couple of hand raises. If you could just post your questions in chat, that would be great. I have chat open and I will be checking chat throughout the presentation because I really want to be able to answer any questions that you have in real time. Yes, everyone will get a copy of the recording and of the presentation. So sit back, ask questions if you have them, and we are getting started pretty much right now. Good morning. It is 10 o'clock here on the West Coast. Thank you so much for joining me. I am excited about this webinar today because video is kind of the heart and soul of where my business started. Harmony 3 Productions was video focused from the get-go, and it has just grown and exploded in how we really need video, all of us, to connect with our potential power partners, our potential clients and customers. It's really how people want to get information these days. So welcome aboard. Today we are talking video. But before I jump in, of course, I want to play a video for you. And this is about my favorite part of SCORE. It is their free, no charge mentoring. I had a SCORE mentor when I started my business, set me on the right path, kept me focused, and was a real person that I could reach out to when I needed to, when I needed encouragement or needed answers to questions. I definitely love the idea that SCORE is embracing the new technology. So we have an AI avatar, but what you get with their mentoring is a real human. Let's watch the video and listen to them tell about it.
Starting or growing a business can feel exciting, confusing, and overwhelming, sometimes all in the same day. And today there are more tools than ever to help. You can ask AI for a checklist, a marketing idea, or a quick answer. But your business is not just a checklist. It is your time, your money, your dream, and your future. That is why a real human mentor still matters. A SCORE mentor can listen to your goals, understand your challenges, and help you think through what makes sense for your business. From the first spark of an idea to writing a business plan, improving your marketing, understanding your numbers, managing growth, and planning what comes next, SCORE is here to walk alongside you. Mentoring is available at no cost, no pressure, no sales pitch, just experienced guidance, practical advice, and a relationship built around helping you succeed.
It doesn't matter where you're at in your business journey, whether you're starting, you're growing, or you're a mature business. Every company has a unique set of opportunities and challenges. SCORE mentors are here to help you think out these issues, develop a solution, and implement that solution.
You do not have to build your business alone. Request your free SCORE mentor today. With SCORE, your success story can start with one conversation.
Like I said, could not agree more. So there is a thread in chat that you can click the link to connect with a SCORE mentor. I see someone is saying they clicked the link, but they didn't get back. We have SCORE with us today. Hey, Pete, if you could look in chat, grab that email, and maybe reach out to Cheryl, that would be terrific. Okay, whoop, missed me. So just a little bit about me. My name is Ronnie Ramos, and my company is Harmony 3 Productions. I started in commercial photography, saw pretty quickly that video was really the way to go, so jumped into video. My first video that I created was terrible because I started in still photography. I didn't understand sound. I had the music playing, and I learned the hard way. So hopefully today I'm going to give you my best practices, my best suggestions on how to use video to connect with your clients, your potential clients, your strategic partners, to really anybody these days, because video is how people want to get their information these days. So as business owners, we need to embrace video. And there's so many AI tools that make things easier. And as a digital creator these days, I embrace those new tools and I'm excited about them. And I want to get you excited about using some of the tools to make the social content that we all have to create easier. It's not easy, and I won't tell you it's going to be easy because it's a lot of work. And we have a lot of hats we're wearing, and you are a business owner, but you still need to connect with your clients. So using video is a great way to do that. These are the same tips, tools, conversations that I have with my own clients. So you have me today. If you've got questions about video or digital marketing, be posting in chat. I'm going to be looking over at chat, and I want to be able to answer your questions in real time today. If you'd like to reach out and connect with me, I'd love to connect with you on LinkedIn. On LinkedIn, I'm Ronnie Ramos, and on most other social, it's Harmony 3 Productions. I'd also love to have you sign up for my newsletter. You'll be getting a copy of the presentation and the slides, so you can always scan the QR codes. My newsletters are really where I talk about things that I'm playing with, aren't quite ready for a full webinar yet, but you kind of get to see what I see is coming over the horizon. And sometimes it's just random bits of encouragement. So anyway, I invite you to sign up for my newsletter. I'm always happy to share my best tips and really have a little conversation there. So what we're going to cover today is talking about the overall shift in consumer behavior, where video is now the primary way that people consume information online. It's not a trend, it's a complete structural shift. That's why video is so important for all of us as business owners. And we're going to talk about what's actually outperforming. So what the formats are, hooks and triggers and winnings. A lot of the stats are from 2025, but it's moving into now full on into 2026 and 2027. It's only getting more that way. And we're going to look at a couple of platform deep dives. So Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, and how each of them has an algorithm that works and really what's working better on each of the different channels. And how AI can help in your actual workflow, whether it's using CapCut or Descript, HeyGen, using AI to help script a real workflow, what I use, and not just a tool list, but I'll show you how I use it. And then the 3 R's: repurpose, reuse, and refresh. How to multiply your content. Wherever you are, you've got great content already. Let's repurpose that. Let's make stuff that's written into videos. Let's take a long form video and make it into multiple little ones. There's a lot of way to help you save some time and get more bang for your buck from the content that you've already created. And I hope you leave with some specific next steps that you can take and work on moving forward. No big budget required here. So when you're making videos, it's not about going viral. A video seen by 200 of the right people, existing customers, warm leads, prospects, is worth way more to your business than a video that's seen by 200,000 of the wrong type of people, right? We're talking about building visibility and a trust engine, not just chasing trending audio. So the number that changes everything is 17 hours of video people watch per week per person. That gives you a pretty good idea that video is the way we want to consume content. It's no longer just a content type. It's the way people want to get their information online. Text and static images are really now the secondary experience. Your brain can process visuals 60,000 times faster than text. So video can combine motion and voice and face. It all triggers the same trust signals as an in-person conversation. So for small businesses, that's a competitive equalizer. You don't need a studio, you don't need a big budget, you just need pretty much your smartphone. A good light can be a window, and the right strategy can totally level the field. The gap between I really should do video and doing it is getting closable. That's exactly why I created this session. Let's close that gap. Let's have you leave this session feeling like I can make a video. Or if you're already doing videos, I'm going to make more videos. Why is your brain wired to accept visuals in a video? Well, that motion in a video, it triggers attention. Your brain prioritizes moving objects. So it's just an evolutionary survival tactic. You know, you see something moving in your peripheral vision. If you're out on the plain somewhere, that could be a predator. We notice things that are moving. Your voice builds trust. A real human voice activates the same neural pathways as an in-person conversation. yes, we're on Zoom, but technically this is video. My conversation with you right now, I hope feels like I'm talking to you, like we're having a conversation, because that's how I feel like it. That's how I intend it. On your videos, it can feel the same way. Facial recognition for us as human, it's hardwired. We're wired to read faces. So on camera video gives your viewers a person to trust and not just a brand to consider. So what's actually outperforming right now? So let's talk about some formats and algorithms and triggers behind the top performing types of content. Short form vertical video is still number one for discovery. So this kind of video can reach people who don't follow you yet. Reels, TikTok, YouTube Shorts. It's really the only organic format that is consistently distributed beyond your existing audience. That means a lot of new people can see it. 45 to 90 seconds is the new sweet spot. Very short clips tend to underperform. 45 to 90 seconds allows your context, your story, and the payoff to that story. People want to know how it ends, all within that attention window. Now let's put a caveat on that too. The algorithms, and nobody knows exactly how they work, but technically we know a few things. We think that the algorithms really put a lot of emphasis on watch time. Do they watch the whole video? So though 45 to 90 seconds is a great window, I like to keep them just under 60 seconds. It seems that people, if they're going to watch it at all, hang around for most of that time. And that signals to the algorithm, they've watched your whole video. That's kind of a gold star. So chances of the algorithm showing your video to more people. If your video is enticing enough, important enough, valuable enough that they'll watch to 90 seconds, great. But if you're making multiple videos, I would at least do testing with some of those different sweet spots, see what's working for you, see what, and you can see the analytics on any of your post videos. See when people are dropping off. If they're dropping off under 60 seconds, keep your videos to 60 seconds. If they're watching the whole thing, then great, good for you. But do look at the analytics on anything that you are creating. So that completion rate, that's the key metric. All right, you've also got a hook, and you've only got about 1.5 seconds to grab somebody's attention to have them watch the rest of your video. So that hook relies on several things. Bold visual contrast. So think high contrast in that first frame, bright versus dark, motion versus still. It registers by the brain before you talking even starts to kick in. What about an unexpected opening statement? Maybe it's a contradiction. Maybe it's a bold claim or a specific number. We're, again, hardwired. We like numbers. Creates a curiosity gap. The brain wants to close that. So predictable openings get scrolled. Looking directly into the camera lens, it mimics that in-person connection. And the brain reads this as personal and direct, even through a screen. A couple of things not to do. Years past, you would see videos and they would start with like your animated logo and a welcome back openers and introducing yourself. No more, right? Those just are scroll triggers. People are just like, next. So your value needs to arrive in the very first spoken words. 4 structures that can help stop the scroll. They're proven openers, and you can adapt them to your industry and voice. I see a question here in chat. It says, any tips for a beginner who wants to use videos on Substack? No matter what platform you're on, what I'm talking about are best practices. So everything that we're talking about, if you're going to do something on any platform, this goes across platform as a best practice. So the contradiction hook, we just talked about that. Most business owners do this wrong. and it's costing them customers. So when you say most business owners, you could say whatever type it is. If you're a realtor, you could say most sellers do this wrong and it's costing them buyers. What? So you can format this, rephrase this to whatever your business is. That contradiction, it opens a gap between what they believe and what's true. What about the curiosity gap? There's 3 things I never tell clients until they ask. Here's the first. That's a great hook. You're just like, I didn't ask, but I want to know what that is. That creates that urgency to keep watching for the payoff. Again, this can work for no matter what your industry is. What about the specificity hook? If your specific problem is specific symptom, this is exactly why. It's so hyper specific that it beats generic every time on social. Generic on anything these days is kind of, people are scrolling by it. They don't want generic. They want something that speaks to them. That's why it's so important that you understand your audience. You understand your audience's pain point. That's what your content should be. You understand your audience pain point. That's what your video should be about. The result first hook. Start by showing the finished result, the transformation, the finished product, the final outcome, and then walk it back to show how they got that. YouTube, I think, is so underrated. If you're a business owner, I want you to at least explore being on YouTube with long form video and video shorts. YouTube video, the long forms, the 7 to 15 minutes, they're outperforming short clips in search and watch time. Why is that? Well, YouTube is a search engine. Google owns it. People are typing in the search bar and videos that answer what they're searching for are coming up. YouTube's not really a social platform. It's the world's 2nd largest search engine. So videos in the how-to and explainer categories are seeing huge increase search, and long form works here on YouTube. So when the intent is high, someone's actively searching to solve a problem or learn something specific, that person is much more likely to watch your video, buy your product or your service. Creating long form content, whether it's a long form video or a blog post or a newsletter or website copy, is where I start with all of my content, because then I can cut it up into smaller pieces, make individual posts from it. I've got a lot of content if I start with long form. And since we're talking video, I would start with a long form video that answers a question that people are searching for in your category that you have an answer to. All right, so what short form video can't do? It can't build that deep authority. A 10-minute tutorial demonstrates your expertise in a way no 60-second clip can. It positions you as a go-to in your category. Again, why I think YouTube is so valuable. And YouTube videos appear directly in Google search results. One, well optimized, and when I say well optimized, I mean your keywords and key phrases are in your title, they're in your description, they're in your spoken words, because that comes up as your closed captions, can drive traffic for months or years. Converting warmer audiences, viewers who watch the long form video, as we're talking what long form can do better than short form, significantly more likely to inquire or buy. They're already invested time in you. And again, how are you going to come up with ideas for long form content on YouTube? Well, my best tip is you look in that search bar. I was going to make a video about email marketing. And so in the search bar in YouTube, I was going to type in email marketing and see what came up, right? Because it's going to give you ideas for videos. But I didn't even get to type in email marketing. I typed in email and then MA, a whole list of email marketing for beginners, email marketing for business owners, email marketing for blah, 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 blah. Give me a whole list. These are not just suggestions. These are things that people are actually searching for, and that's the key. If it gives you a suggestion that fits what you do, your category, your industry, and you could make a video about it, I would, because that's what people are actually looking for. That's what they are typing in the search bar. If you can make a video about that, include that term in your description, in the title, and in what your video is actually saying. Because the closed captions is what the algorithms can read. They can't see you and understand yet what you're saying. I'm sure that's coming soon. The more information you give it about that search that people are actually looking for, the more they're likely to, the algorithm, to say, this is what this video is really about. People are really looking for this. Better chance of the algorithm showing your video to more people. All right. A simple talking head video, like if I was videoing me in this setting, talking head video with bold caption overlays, it's outperforming really polished graphics on LinkedIn. That means your stuff with relatively little editing can outperform really polished commercials. No crew, no editing, no motion graphics required. A camera, you facing the camera type of video where you're sharing a business insight, a lesson, maybe a client success story, right? Or it can reach decision makers in a way that no carousel post or written post can replicate, especially on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is phenomenal for making connections and especially strategic partners and people, again, who are searching for just what you do. Authenticity is the production value especially on LinkedIn. That means you being on camera. Raw, direct video consistently outperforms a really polished one. What about behind the scene videos? This is a great top performing type of video. How we do what we do, that's evergreen content. Again, this can be no matter what you do, whether you create something with your hands, whether you are a consultant, whether you are a real estate agent, how you do what you do kind of separates you and lets people know what it's like to work with you. Showing your process builds trust and differentiates you from your competitors, and that works across all platforms. You don't need to show a finished product. The process is the content here. It answers the question behind the question. Customers want to know if they can trust you before they use your service or buy your product. And seeing how you work is more convincing than any written testimonial they could see. And it can work for every industry. A baker showing how the dough is being made, right? A consultant at a whiteboard and a florist building an arrangement. Process is universally compelling. Testimonial videos. These are gold for your business. If you have someone who is raving about your business and you can get them to either let you record them or they record a video for you, that's a gold standard. Imperfect can beat polished. A phone recorded testimonial from a real customer absolutely can outperform a produced one. Authenticity reads as credibility. Ask your customers to self-record a testimonial video for you. Give them 3 simple questions. What was the problem? What happened after you worked with us? And who would you recommend us to? Boom, little video. If you're uncomfortable asking them to follow your format, just ask them for a testimonial video. Authenticity is great for this. You can use it in ads and email on your website. A single strong testimonial video can be repurposed across every channel. But I want you to get it in writing that they are letting you use it for promotional purposes. I am not an attorney, but all of us these days, we have to be advocates for our own business. So make sure that you are asking permission, you're going to be using it to promote your business, and get that in writing. All right. Every question that a customer has ever asked you is just a video waiting for you to make it. Frequently asked question type of videos rank high on YouTube. They get shared in response to, DMs. If somebody DMs you, I have a client that they say, we get the same question day in, day out. Our in-person operators, when somebody calls, they're answering the same question every day. What do I do? My answer, you make a video about that. You can email them a link to the video. If you are getting DMs on social, you can send the link to the video. Saves you so much time. You put in the effort to answer a question that you are always getting asked with the video. What a great use of your time and time saver moving forward. It builds a always available sales library. People are always going to ask you these questions, and you build a library of content that is answering these questions. So one question equals one video. Don't be answering a bunch of questions in one video. Break that up, because people have one question, they want to see that one answer. Short, super easy to record. They require no script beyond you knowing the answer, and they never go out of date. You get these questions, you're going to get them all the time. So start by listing your 10 most frequently asked questions. And now you have a 10 video content plan. But you probably know 10 things that people should ask. That's another 10 questions that you can make videos about. Now that's 10 videos that you could make. A 10 video content plan expanded into a 20 video content plan. Right there, based just on questions that you are already getting asked from your customers. All right, where to show up and how each platform actually works. So not every platform is worth your time. So here's how I focus my energy and how I coach my clients to focus their energy. Instagram Reels, it's best for discovery and reach. It serves content to non-followers, and it works for both, B2C, business to consumer, and business to business service providers. YouTube, I think we should all be using YouTube. It's the second largest search engine, best for long form authority content, tutorials, and evergreen search traffic. Now, Instagram Shorts are also gaining a lot of traction, but I would make the long form and then change that into bite-size shorts on that same topic. What about LinkedIn? Absolutely. High conversion rate for service businesses. Decision makers, and they're already in that professional mindset. Native video gets more reach on LinkedIn than any other post type right now. And what about TikTok? Well, it's very strong for reach, but the algorithm and policy, can be a little unstable. So for most businesses, if you're gonna have a presence on TikTok, if your clients, your customers are on TikTok, absolutely. But I would use it in addition to Instagram, even Facebook, the vertical videos, and YouTube Shorts. It's all the same format. So you can make that one video for Instagram Reels, Facebook, YouTube Shorts, and LinkedIn, and just put it up on each of the platforms natively. What we don't want is for you to make the video, say in TikTok, download it and then upload it to some of the other platforms. They've openly said, we're not gonna really promote those because they've got the TikTok watermark. Just create the video in a third party, upload it separately to TikTok, to Instagram Reels, to YouTube, and then it's natively uploaded to the platform that you're going. Again, nobody knows for sure what the algorithm is, but it seems like they prioritize natively uploaded videos. If your customers are on TikTok, absolutely worth the effort. Like I said, my easiest hack for that is you're building a video anyway that's vertical, then it should go on any of the vertical platforms that your customers are on. All right, so how does the algorithm actually work? We don't know for sure, but we think, and probably, shares get most heavily weighted. when somebody sends your reel or video to a friend, the algorithm interprets that as high value content and dramatically increases distribution. The algorithm wants people to spend time on the platform. So if people are sharing things, that means more people are seeing stuff. They like that. What about saves? Second most important. Save signals to the algorithm, I want to return to this. So it's a very strong, positive signal that your content is teaching something or inspiring something. Watch time, I said it before, this is critical. The algorithm tracks what percentage of your video that people actually watch. High completion rate means you watch the whole video, they're going to show that to more people. And so design your ending to your video to earn the full watch. What about comments and likes? That used to be like, one of the top things were like comment, make a real comment, like, share. It's helpful, but secondary these days. Engagement matters, yes, but shares and save are really what expand your reach beyond your existing customers. All right, so let's design for shares, not just views. When I say identity content, if you see a video and you're just like, oh, this is so me, people tend to share that because it expresses something true about themselves. If you say, tag a business owner who needs to see this, a lot of times you need to let them know what you want them to do. That's a call to action. Like I said, if somebody recognizes, oh, this is great, this is so me, tag a business owner, you're like, oh, I got to send this to Jenny. She would love that. What about content that is important to you? I got to save this. Those would be step-by-step tips and checklists and how-to little videos. People share that to their stories so they can find it again later, right? Or they just share it to a personal folder. Again, algorithm interprets that as this is valuable. I'm going to show it to more people. And that referral, my friend needs to see this. Content that solves a specific problem so clearly that somebody immediately thinks of a person that it would help. All right, so what about content that works for small businesses? These are formats that generate saves and shares and profile visits, something to think about. I'm sure some of these are gonna spark something in you that you could make a video about. What about before and after type of videos? So that's any transformation. It could be a space or a product or a process, something that has a result. The contrast is inherently compelling, that before and after. It works in any industry. Day in the life videos. This could be behind the scenes of your actual workday. It builds that personal connection and trust, very, very fast, over polished content. What about a hot take on an unpopular opinion? Maybe you have a common belief in your industry and you say, that's actually wrong. Here's why, right? So you're giving your opinion, right, on something that is kind of industry standard and you kind of disagree with that. It creates discussion and saves and shares from people who agree or disagree. What about a quick tip, problem to a solution? Name a specific problem that your customer has. Solve it in under 45 seconds and end with what to do next. A simple formula, consistent results. What about what I wish I knew before? Storytelling format, it positions you as the experienced guide, and it works for any industry. It has a high save rate because people want to reference it. A reaction or a response video. You again could react to a common misconception or a current trend or a piece of content in your industry. Shows your personality and builds that community that we're all trying to build on social. All right, 4 mistakes that stop the algorithm from distributing your content. As I said before, that watermarked TikTok reposts, Instagram actively detects and they have openly said they suppress those. So remove the watermark, or my best practice is you create the video on video editing platform, maybe it's CapCut or Canva or Final Cut, whatever you're using, and upload that separately to the individual platforms. What about posting and ghosting? No engagement in the first 30 to 60 minutes after posting, it signals low interest to the algorithm. So if somebody is commenting, sharing, liking, whatever, that's starting the process. What if you're not getting anything? Then you start. A lot of times on LinkedIn, you hear, links in the description can slow down reach. Maybe, again, we don't know for sure, but use that to your advantage. You wait for a few minutes and then you make a first comment, right? And if you have a link to share, you put that link in the first comment. Again, it's signaling to the algorithm some engagement, and it's not viewing a link in your description of the actual post. And so if that in any way slows down the reach, you've taken care of that by putting your link in the first comment. All right. What about empty captions? Well, the caption of what your video is saying, that's the closed captions that, on most channels that they're going to come up with it whether you put it in there or not. Those captions are indexed by the algorithm. So use it to reinforce your message and include relevant keywords. That's why I'm saying those keywords and key phrases, put it in your title, put it in your description, and put it in what you are actually saying. The algorithm seeing it in all those different places tends to think that's what the video is really about. And if people are looking for that, greater chance on you getting your video seen by more people. What about a trending audio mismatch? Using audio that doesn't match your content kind of confuses the algorithm's the way it categorizes your video. So sound should serve the content. A note on trending audio, a lot of the trending audio is for personal accounts. We can't even use it as business accounts. So again, I'm not an attorney, but make sure that anything that you are using for your business, that you have the correct usage to use it for commercial purposes. All right. Stop treating YouTube like social media. It's a search engine. Don't forget that. Most businesses, when they post to YouTube, the same way they post on Instagram, and then they wonder why they're not getting views. YouTube content is really built around search, not trends like the other social channels. So every video that you're putting on YouTube, and again, I would start with longer form, is answering a question that somebody's typing into the search bar. Those are elements when you can control what your video is about. You can control the length, right? You've got your title, your thumbnail, and your first 30 seconds what you talk about. That's your hook. Your title is helping the algorithm. Your thumbnail is helping people want to see the rest of your video. Your thumbnails on YouTube, absolutely important. If you don't decide what you want as a thumbnail or create a thumbnail and upload that to your video, YouTube's going to pick something itself from your video. And when it picks things for my video, I am like 90% of the time, I've got my eyes closed or my mouth open. Create your own YouTube thumbnail in Canva. All right. Now, let's talk about some basics that really, really matter. That's your title. So use the exact phrase that people are searching for. Front load that keyword. How to do X, whatever it is, without whatever that common barrier is a proven title formula. So think, what would somebody type in to find this related to your business? Your thumbnail. High contrast, minimal text, 3 to 4 words maximum on a thumbnail. Large, readable text, a small size, because most people are going to be looking at your anything these days on their phone. Expressive face, clear visual, no cluttered design for your thumbnail. Your description. Those first 2 to 3 sentences are what's indexed. So YouTube and Google both read your description. The first lines should include your keyword naturally spoken, not just like loading keywords in there, and describe what the viewer is going to get in that video. long form video, use timestamps. Timestamps create clickable moments within your video that can dramatically improve the retention. If somebody's looking for, say you've got a long form video and you have answered their question, they want to know where that is in that video, and they can also appear in the Google results. All right. 4 content pillars that consistently perform. So you can build your whole YouTube library around these. They compound over time as evergreen search assets. How-to tutorials, product or service walkthroughs, industry myth busting, and case studies and client results. When I talk about content pillars, these are columns that you can put content in on a regular basis. You're not using the same content over and over. For example, how-to tutorials. You could have how-to on X, how-to on Y, and how-to on Z. It's still a how-to pillar, but you have different content in it. All right. Use the YouTube Shorts as a feeder system. Shorts are, it's like a teaser for your long form video. A YouTube short that can tease that full tutorial or answers one question from the longer form video, it allows you to create basically a pipeline to your main channel with the longer form videos. Think trailer for your long form video. Subscribers from shorts convert higher. Viewers who subscribe to your channel after watching a short and then engage with the long form video, significantly better rate of staying than cold subscribers. LinkedIn, I think, is the most underused tool right now for service businesses. LinkedIn's native video, it means you're creating a video, uploading it natively to the LinkedIn platform, gets significantly more organic reach than any other post type on the platform. The audience is already in a very professional mindset. They're open to business content. Remarkably different than people who are scrolling on Instagram or TikTok, right? You go there for entertainment. So a 60 to 90 second talking head video on sharing a business insight, a lesson, a client story, it can reach decision makers directly. No other platform puts you in that same room quite as easily. So what platforms and what do they do and what do they don't do? So LinkedIn's audience, I think, responds to professional honesty. Raw insight outperforms promotional content. Lessons learned from real work. Industry observations and your takes on what's happening in your industry. Client wins as a teaching moment. And honest, what I got wrong content and what does not work. Salesy calls to actions in the first sentence, that doesn't work, right? LinkedIn rewards people, not ads. Optimal length for LinkedIn, 60 to 90 seconds. What about creating one video that you can use across platforms? Yes, please, sign me up. Make it easy, reuse, repurpose. Film once, then adapt it if you need to for other platforms. Same core content, adjust the caption style or crop, whether it's vertical or landscape, or swap the audio if you need to. One core piece of content you can use across platforms. Watermarks, as I've said before, are a no-no. So there's editing tools, you can crop it and get it out of there, but I definitely like the idea of creating your video and then uploading it separately to the individual platforms. And write a native caption for each platform. What works on LinkedIn as a caption is way too formal for Instagram. You can use an AI tool to help you rewrite your caption for the different platforms. And just a brief little rewrite takes a couple of minutes. All right, what about using AI in your workflow? There's 4 categories of tools that I think, AI can help you with. So editing and post-production, absolutely. There's AI is in every tool these days, whether it's CapCut or Descript or Adobe Premiere, Final Cut, Canva. It can help you do auto captions. It can take out silences just like that. It could crop just automatically and get rid of that long silence, could get rid of your ums and ahs, right? Or sometimes I like to leave in the ums and ahs and little bits of silence where you're thinking about something, because again, it makes it more authentic. But there's tools that can take rid of that, and it can cut the editing time by a lot. What about script and content generation? 1,000%. I use AI every day for this. Claude, ChatGPT, Jasper, it can turn a topic into camera-ready script in moments. When I say under 2 minutes, that's with you editing back and forth before you get a final. It is the fastest path I have ever seen to go from an idea to actual recording. What if you don't want to be on camera? Well, there's an AI avatar of you and synthetic video. HeyGen, Synthesia, DID, it can create a digital version of you for utility content. That could be things like FAQs, you have frequently asked questions, and explainer videos, onboarding, new employees, new hires. What about delivering your message in different languages? But I do want you to, again, be an advocate for your own business. Every AI tool has a data policy. Know what you're agreeing to before uploading client work or any proprietary content or any kind of identifying information. Read the fine print, read their terms of service. All right. Some platforms can claim rights to your content. Read that fine print. Certain platforms include language that allows them to upload your content to train AI models for promotional purposes. Never, ever upload proprietary business information. That includes client data, internal pricing, unreleased product contracts, or confidential material. You don't know where that's going. Again, I'm not an attorney, but I want you to have your eyes open and think about all these tools are great, but read those terms and conditions. They all have their own terms and conditions, so read whatever ones that you're using. So when in doubt, check before you upload. It takes 2 minutes to scan that term page, and it can save your business from uploading intellectual property or data issues that you didn't even see coming. So that's my PSA, public service announcement for today. Read what you are using these days. Okay. The tool that we probably all have, that we're probably all using, most small businesses are only using like 10% of what Canva can do, because Canva is amazing for video. If you're using Canva, you've already got a video editor. So you can trim and cut with it. You can put text overlays and captions, transitions, animations to elements in the video. You can even do a 3D spin with elements now. There's music and audio. You can put your voiceover on it. I love that you can resize your video. Say you made it horizontal, you can resize it to vertical, depending on what platform you're going to upload it to. There's a free version of Canva, and then there's a pro version. The free tier does watermark your video exports, and Pro can remove that watermark and unlock some premium audio for you to use. It's worth knowing before you first post it. If you're new to Canva, I always say try the free version. Get your feet wet with it. See if it's something that you're comfortable using and can navigate. Canva to me is very user-friendly, so I highly recommend. But I always, for myself and my clients, use the paid version, because there's so many things in it that if you're going to use, you have to pay a little bit here, a little bit there. The paid version covers everything that it has in there, and for me, it's very good return on investment. But that's why I say try the free version first, see if it works for you. I see a question here. If you sell products, should we not put our prices in our catalogs? So I'm on, when you say catalog, I'm thinking you're referring to your website. And typically on websites and catalogs, you would have prices. So I'm not exactly sure how you are referencing that to video. So Ron, if you could post in chat a little bit longer explanation, what are you specifically referring to on your question about pricing? Perfect. All right, in Canva, there's also something called Beat Sync. There's animations and some very dynamic AI features. So Beat Sync can take your video, right? And say you've got music, you know, music has a specific beat, and you've got multiple scenes in your video, it can AI match those cuts to the beat of the music. Pretty nice. You can animate any element in your Canva video independently. Your text, any graphics that you're putting on. So these are things you're putting on top of your video, text, logos, graphics. Each can have their own entrance, exit, and any kind of movement you want. You can layer them for a totally professional looking motion graphic feel without motion graphic skills. It's great. Transitions beyond the basic cut. So basic cut means scene one cuts right to the next scene. Movies are like that, right? You visually are used to seeing that quick cut, but sometimes you want a little more with your transition. It's got a lot of transitions, including, you know, breathe and spin and a lot. I don't use transitions too much, right? Sometimes that quick cut works best, but they've got transitions built right in there. They even have background remover on video. I'm sure a lot of you have tried taking the background off of a still photo. They even have it for video. Is it perfect? No, but sometimes it's pretty great. All right. I love that in Canva, you've got a place that you can create your brand kit. And what that means is there's a dedicated place in your pro version of Canva to put your logo, your typeface that you use, your branded colors, your fonts for any text you're writing. Makes it so easy that anytime anybody sees anything representing you online, I want it to look like you. I want it to have your brand colors and your fonts, your logo, the type of images that you use, so people recognize you before you say anything, before they even do anything except for that first glance. Canva makes it easy to do that. Canva has, you know, their AI tools right there in Canva. You can adjust the text, the description, the script if you're writing it in there, all built into Canva itself. And it has AI tools in there for video too. They have Magic Eraser that can take things out of footage. It's crazy, right? Magic Expand can fill out the edges of your video. Now, again, are they perfect? Not always, but sometimes it can really be a big help. So my steps for doing a little video in Canva from start to posted. You open up Canva, you choose the video, you'll see little circles at the top, those are shortcuts. If you're gonna make a video, use a video template, makes it so much easier. You can make a video out of anything in Canva, but starting with a video template makes it much simpler. So you start with a pre-sized template, you upload your raw footage, right? So you're gonna drag your video clips directly into Canva from your phone or your computer. You can add captions with auto captions. You can apply your brand kit and text overlays, Beat Sync if you're using music, and then you can export it, right, yourself down to your computer, or if you have your platforms linked, you can publish right there. Canva has a publisher right there in Canva itself. Let's see, I see another question. So someone is saying, if they have, it sounds like you have pricing based on whether you're selling to profit or nonprofits. So if your pricing structure varies, no, I would not put any pricing on your videos, right? If you're making videos and it can apply to a wide market, but there might be different pricing structures, absolutely, I would leave pricing out of it. And you could work with AI on some better ways to phrase that, reach out to us directly for, for pricing in this industry or whatever. But I would absolutely utilize something like ChatGPT to help you phrase that so it's not off-putting in any way, but definitely speaks to the people that you are trying to reach. And it may even have some very specific types of videos for those different, again, industries, whether you have nonprofits and profits, maybe you make separate videos. Using something like Claude, ChatGPT can absolutely keep you focused on that and maybe come up with some ideas that you hadn't thought of yourself. All right, one video, how can you turn that into multiple pieces of content? So in Canva, you've got your edited video, it's trimmed, it's captioned, it's music synced, you've exported it for every platform. I would use something like ChatGPT with Canva to come up with some ideas. You tell ChatGPT, here's my video, I've already done it, here's the script. Now I want to make an Instagram carousel post. Pull the 5 key points and tell me, for a carousel post, you want a point per slide. Give me the content for those 5 slides. Take that content into Canva. They have carousel post templates. Boom, done. What about a quote graphic? One strong line from that video styled with your brand kit could be an inspirational post. What about an email header image? A still frame or a graphic pull from that video, and then you write an email about what that video is with the image's clickable link to that video where it's living. Is it on your YouTube channel? Is it on your website? That's a way to utilize Canva in all these different ways. All right. CapCut, if you haven't used it, it can be an editing powerhouse. You can use it on your phone, you can use it on your desktop. For me, desktop is definitely easier because I like my little fingers, I think they're too fat for the phone. So I like the landscape. I have to work on a desktop, but you can, their auto captions are very, very accurate. The desktop has the paid version has the silence and filler removal that I was talking about. Has voice enhancement, noise removal, but the free version is definitely powerful on its own. Raw footage, you can post it to a complete video in like 30 minutes. So you can import your footage, you can auto caption it, trim the silences, remove those fillers, and then use voice and enhance and export it. So very quickly, a lot of these tools work with you. Descript is something else to consider. They're just different platforms that are AI enhanced for your video, but you can delete an actual word from a transcript and that video clip can just disappear. Again, you got to test it to try it. Does it go smooth enough for you? Sometimes yes, and as I said, authenticity beats perfection. So if you have a lot of ums and ahs, silences, it might be a platform you want to look at to help fine tune what you're working on. And you can fix a video with something like that without re-recording. So that can be a big, big time saver. AI to help with your script writing, I think is just the most valuable AI tool that I use every day. The real barrier for you doing video isn't the camera, because they say they don't know what to say, and AI script writing can really solve that. You review it. Don't ever take anything AI gives you word for word without looking at it, and then you record it. You don't have to write from scratch. So a basic prompt structure you could start with is write a 60-second or however long you want it, real script for your business type, addressing your customer's problem. Tell it you want it in a conversational tone and have a soft call to action at the end. Always adjust it so it sounds like you. Read that script out loud before you're recording it so that it sounds like you. And then use AI to help you batch that. You can generate 8 to 10 different scripts in one recording session. And then you can walk away with a full plan of content, and you can record everything back to back, and it really is a time saver. We are out of time. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really hope that everything that we talked about will get you excited and feel empowered to start creating videos for your own business. The best takeaway is that video, you being on camera, you being authentic, beats professional and polished every time. Don't be afraid to start. Your next video can always be better, but getting that content out there is what is going to start getting you recognized as a leader in your field, someone who is trusted and does excellent quality work. So I would love to see you at another SCORE webinar very, very soon. Like I said, you will be getting a copy of the recording and the slides. My QR code is on there. Love to have you follow me on LinkedIn, on my social, and sign up for my newsletter, because I am giving tips freely on that and also sharing things I'm not, like I said, not quite ready to do a full webinar on, but I like to have you in there from the start. Thank you again so much, and hope to see you at another SCORE webinar very, very soon.